let's thank our speaker again, and good night. So apparently they heard me speak before. Yeah, we'll ignore you. Anyway, I'm Daryl Levine. I'm an alcoholic. And a couple things. I use my last name because I've been at too many meetings over 39 years where people don't know your last name. They can't find you. And in here, you can know my last name. And what I've learned also, you can know my last name out there. I got sober October 16th, 1984. I have 39 years. I have a sponsor. I sponsor men. I'm involved in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I'm involved in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I have been. I've been in the middle, luckily, my whole sobriety. I go to meetings. I raise my hand. I talk. I walk around rooms like this. I got to walk around, I think I met about 20 of you, because I was taught to walk around and meet people, introduce yourself. Because if there's nothing else about Alcoholics Anonymous, we need to be inclusive. We need to bring you all in, because this is a we program. It's about how we did it, and then you know how you can do it by following our lead. That's what we get here. That's what we get here. A little more history. My sponsor, and I went to visit him. He's in Asheville, North Carolina. By the way, I suggest having a sponsor out of state. I'm not stupid. I don't want to have to see that guy every day. And he's so far, I don't have to call him every day. So I visit him about once every year and a half. He moved out of here 12 years ago. And he wasn't my sponsor when he lived here because he was too close. And I went to North Carolina a month ago. In fact, I think it is just not quite a month, to celebrate his birthday. Because he turned 70 years sober. 70. 70. 70. He'll be 87. He came in, he was 16 and a half, addicted to heroin. Got sober in Brooklyn. His grand sponsor was Dr. Bob. I share about that because I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the lineage that I have in Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm proud of the men who have gone before me, and the women especially, who have gone before me, because I've learned in here. Because when I came in here, I don't know about you, I had no problem. I did not have a problem, not one. Certainly not a life problem, not one. I guess I learned that I had a life problem because I didn't know how to live life, and I was horrible. I was married at the time. By the way, let me go through that first, and then I'll get to the whole story. I've been married 47 and a half years to the same person. Well, I've heard that before, and then, yeah, if you divide it up by 4, each one was about 5. You know. I've been married 47 years to the exact same person. We have 2 sons, 42 and 38. We have 2 grandchildren. We have 4 golden retrievers. We have 1 full-size horse, a mini horse, and a mini donkey. Never thought I would grow older and have a ranch. I'm Jewish. We're not supposed to have that. And I do. And it's an amazing life. It's an amazing life. And I don't have to worry about what I'm going to say tonight, even though my wife is right over there. Mindy is right over there. And she hates being called my wife because her name is Mindy. So Mindy's over there with one of our therapy dogs that we brought out tonight, who should probably be up here rather than me, because he's got a much better message. He's got a great message of love. That's what we do here. We don't Our job is not to harass you. Our job is not to terrorize you. I don't know where this whole thing about, this thing about how we have to tell you exactly how to do it. There are no rules here. What I share with you is how I got sober. And then what I let you do, and if I sponsor you, I want you to ask me what happened after I worked that step. Because I want to know the payoff. And so do you. When I came in here, I started working the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. I got sober living in Agoura, over there. Everything I did was in Studio City or Sherman Oaks because I was in the film business for 44 years. So I was always at different studios, but I went to all my meetings in there. So I got sober at a place called Unit A, which is a place. How I ended up there is beyond me. We were next to a bar called the Tonka Hut. Not Tonga, Tonka, because they misspelled it on the sign, and they kept the name. I don't know about you, but I never cared about the name of a bar, ever. I just wanted to know that they had stuff to drink. That was it. So I went there. I went to the studio at like 5:30, went to the meeting at 7, went to another meeting at 9 at Chandler Lodge. Occasionally, I would go back to work and get some work done, come back for a meeting at noon because I needed that. And I was told to jump in. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. I say I was married. My marriage was destroyed because I destroyed it. That's what we do. When I came in, I was told the best advice ever. Do not try to repair your marriage. You have no tools to repair your marriage. But if you do the work here, and if you do the inventories here, and if you do all the stuff that's outlined in the book and through a sponsor that should take you through every step, not assign them, take you through them, what happens is your life cleans up. When your life cleans up, if that marriage or relationship is supposed to stay intact, you now have the ability for that to grow. In our case, it started to grow and fell apart because there was an arrogant player in the marriage. I unfortunately assumed that role, and I was him. Nothing was good enough for me. I got sober. If there was a pedestal I could stand on at my house at night, I would have. Because don't you know what I've done? Look at me now. I'm a shining example of AA. The best way to find out how anybody in AA is talk to their family. And I was a monster. I sought outside help, which I needed. And I actually did the work. I will tell you quite honestly, and I hope the opinion is shared. I fell in love again with my wife, with Mindy. And I love her today. And we are friends today. We're both retired. We spend 24/7. I think it's fabulous. I don't know about you, but during the pandemic, we were forced into it. It was fine. It was great. I enjoy it. I'm happy. I'm comfortable in my skin. We brought, I don't use the word we brought Alcoholics Anonymous and recovery into our house. We allowed our children to find a God that they might believe in. They don't have to be ours. I brought a lot of stuff into our house that we were able to start living by because I had to live like that. And we found out if we brought it there, it would work. We had one son at the time. And my wife, even though we were still together after a couple of separations, we were never going to have a kid again until I at least had 1 year of sobriety before we started to try to have another child. Since I don't pay attention much, and I don't listen much, We did not wait for a year. In fact, our son was born a week after my 1-year cake. So I fudged a little. That boy has never seen his dad loaded, ever. Because my first son didn't know it. I used to babysit my son if my wife was gone, and I'd be in the closet doing cocaine. I was told you don't babysit your own kids. You raise them. You love them. I didn't know that. I had no clue. I had no clue. If there's anything you're going to get out of me, I've learned everything that one needed to learn in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. Through the steps, and all the steps did for me, the steps don't take away my problems. They don't stop me from suffering. What they do is they give me the tools to put me in a position to have a life. That's what they do every day. I do the same stuff every day. I'm in contact every day with people in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I still do. I still do. You know, when I do call that sponsor, way back there, when I complain, because I'm known to complain, and if I say I don't want to really do that, I don't think I should have to do that. I shouldn't have to do that. I've got 39 years. I should not have to do that. Well, he's quick to point out that at that point, I think one of the times we talked, says, well, I have 68 years, so I overrule you. And he always overrules me, which he should. We planned the trip there for a year because what you'll learn here is celebrating others is a gift that we get. It's a gift that we get. When somebody gets up here for a year or 2 years, we know that feeling. We know how you feel. When we get, what is it, Brian, Jenny, hold on, I missed one. Hold on. I wrote this down for a reason, so I wouldn't forget. Kathy, Brian, and Jenny, who are new here tonight. I was joking with Brian, who I went back and I met. I said, please don't listen to the speaker tonight. He will have nothing to say to you that's important. I told him the truth. I got nothing to give him other than I'm going to share a story. I'm going to share my path. And I think I have a couple of friends who I'm just saying over here that know my story. So now I really can't lie. Damn it. I thought I was far enough away from people I knew. I don't need to lie anymore. I don't have to make up stories. I got into the 12 steps. When I was at Radford, there was a bunch of old men at the front table. They played cards every day. Every day. And the lady who ran Radford was this old lady named Alabama, that if you get people that speak from anywhere in the valley, they're going to talk about Alabama, Carruthers, because she controlled every one of us. She was the boss lady. But these other men at the table, these old guys, they were grumpy old guys with gray hair and gray beards. Well, shit, look what I've become. An old grumpy guy with gray hair and a gray beard. That's what happens here. And what do? I do the same thing they did. I encourage newer people. I encourage people with time. Because in this room, and I don't know most of you, but in this room, there's a ton of you. And it's not nasty, what I'm about to say, but there are a ton of you that are not working the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous anymore that much. You don't have to. Your life is working. Guess what? It could be much better. I know that to be true. I know that to be true because what our book tells us, which a lot of people miss, we have to take a regular business inventory. That's what the book tells us. Well, regular to me doesn't mean one time. So I work the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. When I do any work with guys I sponsor, it always brings up stuff that I then have to look at. So then I have to do that. I have to write. I have to talk to my sponsor. I have to do the same process I've asked them to do, which is what we should do here. When I take guys through the steps, I was taught in the first step, I don't really care how bad your life is. Don't care. To have a new guy start talking about how bad his life is, go talk to somebody else. Please don't talk to me. What I want to tell you about the first step, there's no I in the first step. No I. There's nowhere in the book where it says, please share with your sponsor how bad your life is. Please do that in step one. It does not say that anywhere. What it says, we want you to join a path. We're going to show you how it works. We are going to show you how it works by how we have come to believe in the miracle of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's a disease of the mind and body. So I'm going to show you how to do that by taking you through the steps. You're going to read all 58 pages with me. We're going to talk about all 58 pages. It's way too time-consuming to waste on a new guy until I sit down and I do it. And it's an incredible feeling. And then we're going to talk about the second step. We simplify the hell out of it. You're not, he is. Step 3, turn it over. It's not that simple. We have to talk about it. We get to step 3. I do that silly move. The idea that I have to pray and hold hands and do the third step prayer with, do I really? Yeah, because that's how I was shown. And it works. It's a decision. I'm not asking you to do anything, but I want you here and able to do it. Because if you don't work step 3, you can't do step 4. Because you're not going to trust us. You're not going to be honest with us. You know, later on in the book, it talks about the how of the program. Honesty, open-minded willingness. I don't know about you, but that doesn't work. What works is being willing to be open-minded, and then the honesty will follow. I can't be honest. If you come in here and you're new, you're not supposed to be honest. There's a book, by the way, page 3. If you do drugs, you steal. If you're new, you lie. I've been around for a long time. I've never met one that hasn't yet. And I can tell you all that because I did not know how to not lie. I did not. I had an excuse for everything. 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 I made up a story. I had a great story before I ever got to the program. I haven't shared this in probably 20 years. I was in elementary school. I'm going to take you that far back because I'm 71, so we're going a long way back. John Kennedy was elected president. I was absent from school for a couple days. I came back to school. So I told my class, because we have, in those days you share and tell. Raise my hand. I went to the inauguration of John Kennedy. Not only did I go there, the rows behind him when they're sworn in, not down there. The important rows right behind him? Well, that's where I was. That's where I was. Well, my teacher was so impressed. She had the principal call my mother. I'm a liar. I'm a liar because I want to fit in. I want you to think I'm better than I am. It's what I am. It's what I came here as. It's what I was as a little boy. It's what I was. That's how I lied. Later, I got much better at lying. Much better. Because that was only to feel a part of and feel better, and that's it. I just lied. I lied, I stole, I did all that. Then I did the fourth column. I did the fourth step. I did the first column, second column, third column. They're fun. Take a look at the fourth step. You tell me what the first three columns are, if not fun. And if you're Jewish, oh, they're really fun. Because we want to complain and blame. That's what we do. Sorry. That's what I do. That's what I do. So I had to do those first three columns. What does it affect? Everything. Who can I blame? All of you. That's a simple version. But then the fourth column is where the work starts. That's the important stuff. And I did the fourth column, and I do the fourth column with my guys. I don't put them out on a limb. I do it with them because I'm very selfish. Because I've heard it too many times when people do a fifth step. Oh, God, I was with my sponsor for 12 hours, and then we had to come back a second day because I wasn't done. There is nobody I've ever met who is that interesting. Nobody. Nobody. So if I do the fourth step with you, the fourth column with you, and we talk through it, I've done basically your fifth. Because now when we do the fifth, we have everything in front of us. I don't sit for 10, 12 hours. I'm done in 2. Goodbye. And I know by the way, there are no character defects that you don't know about that you have. Not one. You just deny them. That's what I do. I know what your character defects are going to be after being and doing the fourth column with you. So I'm going to tell you what they are. And there's not a vote. There's no vote. Here they are. You want to deny it? Tell me why. And you can't because you wrote it down. I read it. I remember. I look at it as fun. AA is a way of life. It's fun. I have fun doing all of it. Because if I don't, I'm in the wrong place. Then I go on, after that, we have to do the big review. I got to do the review. Oh, my God. So I do the review with the guys. Tell me about it. We go through it. Then we do 6 and 7. And I give them the bad news. You're going to do 6 and 7 the rest of your life, every day. Every day. Every day. Because if you think any of your character defects leave, nope. 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 They may hide for a while. They may disappear for a little bit. They're going to come back, and they're going to come back usually with a little twist. Little twist. So we have to do work, continually do this work, which is fine. I am, and I want to say this really loudly, I'm a human being. That's all I am in here. I'm a human being, which means I'm fallible. I'm going to continue to make mistakes. I'm going to continue to have character defects. I have dear friends that you better fall in love with your character defects because they're going to be with you the rest of your life. You think they're going to go away? Sure. You also believe that what we say here, let it stay here, doesn't leave the room? Please, if you're new, don't believe that. We lie up here. We lie. We want you to believe that. No. No. Share with people that are in your inner circle. And now getting back to the steps. We then do the 8th. We will refer to our list again in 4. But the 8th, we add more stuff. There's more. There's more. And you better do it with the sponsor. Because what we tend to do, oh, I'm ready to do the 9th now. No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop. Please stop. Because your sponsor is going to help you do the 9th and pick the people you should work on and who you owe the amends to and when you should make them. I need guidance. I need guidance. I need help. That's why I'm here. Today, I need help. I will say things at home. I have no clue why. I still do that shit. I still apologize. Sometimes not in the proper time. And then I always say, that wasn't my intention. it does not matter what my intention was, because the other person will already be hurt by it. Intentions don't take away the pain that you cause for somebody else. That's a hard one to swallow. But I said I'm sorry. Come on. How many times can I say I'm sorry for the same thing? How many? You run out of that sorry pass. So it's your actions. I still have to change my behaviors. I still have to change those character defects. I still want to be better. I still want to change today. I still want to get better. I still want to be a better father, a better husband, a better friend, a better everything. I still want to be better. That's my goal. I'm not one of those. I don't want to come here and, first of all, we'd say, rest on your laurels. We're up at 9th and 10th. Rest on your laurels. What laurels? What laurels? There are no laurels. This is your life that you get as a result of the steps and the work. I can't rest on laurels. I have to continue to do the work in the process, which I love being in the middle of this. I love the ability that I have to change. I love the ability that I have to work with people. You know, we talk about, after the 5th, God, you can see the light in their eyes. You can see this. It's true. You can. And it's miraculous. It's a gift. If you're in this room, you have been handed the biggest gift of your life. The biggest gift in your life. Because you have now the ability to talk in a way where new people will understand you, because you're not talking down to them, you're talking to them, and you're sharing your experience, which is exactly where they are to it sometime. That's the gift we have here. It's a gift we hold on to. Our code is, I have a responsibility to put my hand out to the newcomer that comes in. I also have a responsibility to put my hand out to anybody in this room, because I never know who's going. Are you having a hard time tonight? Are you having I don't know. I won't know that, because a lot of times we come into meetings and we hang out with our 3 friends, and there's another 150 people that we never talk to. So I want to go around and I want to talk to you. I want to meet you, because I want to know, not that I can help. Most times you don't want my help. Most times all you want to do is talk, and you want somebody who can listen. Because that's the other thing we learn here, if you pay attention. That's a bigger gift. How can I learn to listen? But in a way, when I listen to people, what I really try, I'm not trying to listen and go like this, well, I have the answer. I have the answer for you. I know it. I do. That's not why I'm listening to you. I'm listening just to listen, because you want to be heard. Because I want to be heard. And if you're like me, what I want for you is what I would like for me. How do I get that? By now going on to 10. Because I'm a human, I need to take my own pulse, my own whatever you want to call it. So I review it during the day. I review it. I don't wait for night. I don't wait till 11 o'clock at night. The hell is that? I have to do that later as well before I go to sleep. That's another prayer. And if I have to pick up a pen, God forbid, I won't ever do that at night. But I review. I do 10. I do that. And then 11 is constant. 11 is constant. I'll touch on meditation just for this much. And that is, don't ever let anybody tell you that you're meditating wrong. Ever. Ever. They don't have the right to say that to you, because everybody has a different way of meditating. And I cannot be your judge, nor will I. And then we get to 12. What's 12? It's about a 5-story building, It's not just carrying the message. It's conducting your life as well. in order to do that. I have to carry the message. I got to be willing. Being of service. You know, being of service, by the way, is not speaking at a meeting. I can't turn down an AA request. I'm going to speak again. I have too many friends. I grew up in an area where we raised all these circuit speakers that are still, the ones who haven't died, are still speaking. And I know them all, and we're friends. But too many of them don't go to meetings unless they speak. They don't go to meetings. I went to a men's SAG today is a step study. It's a prepared step study. You can't just go in there and wing it. You have to come prepare it. The reason why we go there, and it was my home group for years, is because I want to learn possibly a different way of taking the steps to new people. You may have a better idea. Am I open to that? You bet. Does it have to be my idea? No. Am I the best sponsor? Hell no. What I am proud of, I am more proud when people tell me, and I've heard it a lot from the podiums and other places, when I came in, that guy Daryl made me feel welcome. He made me feel welcome. It's not hard to do, and yet we don't do it. All you have to say to somebody new, break the ice. To Brian, when I said, your speaker is not going to give you anything tonight. He didn't know I was a speaker. Now he's going like this. Yeah, he's right. There's nothing coming out of him that I need to hear. And I told him, you don't need to hear the speaker. The fact that you're here at the meeting, the fact that you're going to hear the readings, the fact that you're being a part of this tonight is why you're here, and that's the important part. That's the important. You're not going to remember a word I say. Not a word. Not a word, because we're selfish, self-centered sons of bitches. Now, a lot of your speakers that will come here will dress up. They'll wear a shirt and a tie because they still believe, even though Clancy's dead, that he created this whole mystique. In order to carry the message and speak, you have to dress the part. Please show me where it says that. It tells me that God dwells within me. If I carry the message, it's from my heart. If I carry the message, and I knew him for years, and we used to argue for years, and I'm a costume designer. I dress people for a living until I retired 4 years ago. That's what I did for a living. If you can tell me what dressing up has to do with this program, please share with me after. I come dressed like you. Always. Always. I don't speak in West LA because they're all under the guise of Clancy still, even though he's passed. Even though he's passed. And it's only certain meetings that I will speak at, but I'll speak anywhere else. But I will not put on a jacket because I don't believe in that ridiculous thing. It's here. Alcoholics Anonymous lives in here. I learned it here, and by the grace of God, it'll travel to here. That's where it comes out. That's how I can help you. That's how I can be available for you. So if we make you feel welcome here, if we make you feel like you matter, because I also have never met an alcoholic member. We're arrogant with nothing to back it up with. We're self-centered because we are, all right? And we have the self-esteem way down here. And we'll do anything we can to hide that. So I want to make you feel better. I want to let you know that you've come into this program, and this we is what we're going to help you with. There's no more I. No more I. You don't have to go through anything alone. You will hear, if you're new, or even if you have time, you will hear everything. You will hear about death. You'll hear about divorce. You'll hear about bankruptcy. You'll hear about having too much money, not enough money. You'll hear everything here. And how do we get through it? God, I wanted to get through all this with dignity, Well, I threw dignity out the window a long time ago. I want to get through it. Dignity will come back. You know? Everybody wants to be humble. You get that in Alcoholics Anonymous, you know. After you do the steps, you're humble now. Well, if you ever hear anybody from the podium talk about being humble, stop listening. Because if I'm telling you how humble I am, wrong. I've already lost it. The most humble I can ever be is being of service to you. It's showing up. It's walking around the rooms. What can I get for you? What can I get? What can I do? Can I do anything? Do you need to talk after the meeting? Now be careful when you say that. Because people in here will start talking to you. Usually for hours. We don't know how to say hello here, by the way. How are you? Oh, God, I'm glad you asked. And I'm under my breath going like, why the hell? I know better. I know better. Problem is I haven't learned. And I hope I never do. Because I want to know. I want to know. We have this new, not a new thing. I went to a baseball game last season. I love the Dodgers. Dodger blue. And I was sitting with my friend at the game, and I said, you know, something I got to start doing. If I think of anybody, old or young, I need to either call them or text them. Because what happens is we lose touch. And then when they're older, we lose more than being in touch. So when I think of anything, if I think of somebody, I contact them. I've also learned that here. You know, with a couple of short stories. One I always tell whenever Mindy comes with me, and I try on weekends. If I'm asked to speak on a weekend, what I like to do, not all the time, because there's only so many times Mindy can hear me. She puts up with me enough at home. But then we make an evening. We'll go have dinner. Tonight we had dinner with a dear friend of ours, and we even brought that little golden retriever over there, one of our therapy dogs. And so we make an evening out of it. Again, we're inclusive. I'm inclusive. There are no secrets in my house. There are no secrets from I can say whatever I want up here. Mindy's heard it too many times. But she's heard it. But I've learned a couple things in AA. If you go to meetings, same meetings every day, which I used to do, I tried to break that habit for a couple of reasons. And this one time, not one time, this lady had a cat who was sick. Well, if any of you go to meetings, you have the experience. There are people, as soon as meeting starts, it's like this. She shared every day for about 3 weeks about her cat being sick. Every single day. She shared about the cat. I'm not a cat lover. And it's got nothing to do with my sobriety. Nothing. I'm in here because I'm sober. Cat? Nah. The cat dies. Sorry. I am thrilled. I'm not a nice guy. I'm still not a nice guy. I'm hoping I don't have to hear about the cat. Well, if you let me finish the story, you'll probably go like this. Oh, okay. But I'm sorry if that affected you. I apologize for that. Okay? Now, so the cat dies. So for the next couple of weeks, what am I going to do with the cat? What am I going to do with the cat? She finally figures it out. She said, I got to cremate the cat. Again, hopefully it's over. Nope, it's not over. It's still not over. We have to hear about that. She ends up putting the cat's ashes under her bed. Now, what did I learn from that story? What I learned is I don't have the right to ever judge what somebody shares because their pain is their pain. Also, I have the ashes of 9 dogs under Mindy's cabinet in our room. It's called the Yets in Alcoholics Anonymous. And the story had nothing to do with the cat. It had to do with the rights of everybody in this room to share whatever they need to share, because this is the place you get to do it in. Here. And nobody has the right to ever tell you what to share. Ever. Ever. In here. If you look to the left of you and then look to the right, there is nobody in here to impress. We are all the same. All the same. Doesn't matter how you got here. You're here. The battle's over if you choose. Because this is not for people who need it. This is for people who want it and continue to want it. And you have to want it to stay, however long you have. And please, if you have time, please continue doing this so you can pass on what we learn here to somebody who's coming behind you. That is what we're here for. That's all we're here for. And not to tell you who to go out with, what to buy, what to invest in, what car to buy. That's not our job. And as a sponsor, that is certainly not our job. We have people in these meetings who play doctor because people will share about being bipolar. They'll share about a disease that they have, and people in the rooms actually say, well, you better not take those drugs because you're not sober. Again, please show me where it says that, please. Please also show me where it says we can't talk about drugs, because the people that wrote the book talk about drugs. So if anybody ever tells you you cannot talk about drugs, say, well, then you should please read the book. Please. Because we get to talk about anything we want here. What does that mean? Am I done? Is that you? Or there? Somebody else? Okay. I could be getting a call. I don't know. No. During the pandemic, what do I have? 5? 10? Okay. During the pandemic, there were 4 of us that had a meeting every 2 weeks. 2 of them were comedians. One I sponsored, and one was another guy, and then another friend. And it then became Billy in the Barrel meeting, because he was always having a hard time. But we got together every 2 weeks. Were we going to drink? No. Did we need to continue with our life during this? Yes. Did we find another avenue to continue what we learned in here and take it out there? Yes. Everything I learn here, I get to take into my life. Everything. Everything. And how do I feel towards others? How can I behave towards others? How can I take what I learn in this place with me everywhere I go? That's the secret. Because in here, we all sound great. But how do I take this into the world? How do I show up? What am I like out there? What am I like at the supermarket? What am I like when I talk to people? How am I? That shows a sign of somebody successful in Alcoholics Anonymous in my book. In my book. So I now have to wrap it up. So I want to thank Randy for contacting me to come out here. And I want to thank all of you for putting up with me. And I am sorry if I offended you. And I think the person may have walked out. I don't know. I'm sorry about that. That wasn't my intention. Again, my intention had nothing to do with it. What she heard and it affected her, which showed exactly what I was talking about before. Okay? But it's also a very important point I bring across, that we have the right You have the right to share whatever you need to share in here, and don't let anybody ever take that away from you, ever. Thanks.
Okay, let's thank our speaker again.